So we just got done watching the newest episode of The Mandalorian, which I think is episode 4 of the second season. So this is also chapter 12, I believe.
Yes.
All right. So what did you think of this episode?
I actually kind of liked it. It kind of had like a. It's again they're feeling like with the way the show's been. It kind of has like a different feel to this one. This kind of almost has like a infiltration type of a feel to it.
Yeah.
To the at least where the setting was at. Because we're going back to like was it Navarro?
Yeah, Navarro. Yeah.
Which was out in the first season. That was kind of like the main city hub, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of going back to that to try to do like an old Imperial base that they thought it was kind of just a forward base, but actually has some nefarious things going on in there.
Yeah, it's like a lab as well.
Yeah, like they're making T-virus zombies in there. Cause
yes.
Kind of look like it. Kind of look like Tyrant was in there.
Right. Yeah, I like this episode a lot. It's very action packed.
Yeah.
Saw the return of Carl Weathers' character, who he was the director of this episode, and
yes.
Also Gina Carano again. So both of those characters I like a lot. That was good to see them again. And like I said in some of our prediction videos like a while back when this was just news before the show actually came out, I was predicting that there was some kind of like time skip between the first and second seasons, and although they haven't explicitly stated it, I still think that's true. Like I'm feeling like at least a year went by between the two seasons.
Yeah, because it kind of looks like Gina Carano's character is like the sheriff at the town. They kind of cleaned everything up, so it's not like
scum and villainy. Right, they cleaned up the town because it was like a bounty hunter hub before. Yeah. Now there's a school that wasn't there at all before. Like the whole place is cleaned up.
The place doesn't look like it's all like dirty anymore. It actually looks like it's clean.
Carl Weathers got like white hair.
Yeah.
At least his beard, goatee's like white. So something's going on. Previous episodes have kind of hinted at some kind of gap as well, because everywhere Mandalorian goes, even if he was at the place in the first season, it seems like people haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
Because like Tatooine, when he returned to that the lady that runs the like ship repair yard or whatever, she acted like it'd been months at least since he was there last.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's going on in this. And then the other thing that's interesting is a lot of people online were complaining that this is a filler episode, and I think they're saying, I know why they're saying that. They're saying that because they want to rush it along so we can get to the Ahsoka and the Clone Wars stuff and like all that kind of crap.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I understand that, but this episode is not filler because it explains the overall plot of the show probably more than any of the episodes we've seen.
Yeah, because you're getting like, it almost seems like they're making like Sith troopers almost, or maybe even, like the beginning of Snoke at least. If it's like if they're trying to combine the new series with the old series, it's kind of like you get to that point.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Like the thing that was in the vat or whatever to me looked like Snoke, or like an early version of Snoke.
Yeah,
but at the very, very end of the episode, we see like rows and rows of these like black armored like troopers, and whether those are droids or, which doesn't really play into the genetic aspect, or if there's something like you said, like a Sith trooper kind of thing.
Yeah,
like that would be interesting, because they do finally reveal that they were using the child, Baby Yoda, whatever you want to call him, to extract his M count, so his midichlorians. So they're definitely doing something with like a Sith Jedi kind of thing, trying to create like real Sith troopers, not the garbage we got in Rise of Skywalker.
Unless it kind of plays into that where they never finish their research into it or something like that.
Yeah,
actually complete the process.
Because what we got was cool, but they didn't do anything because they were literally red stormtroopers in Rise of Skywalker, but they had like no extra abilities or anything. So like this could be very interesting, or it could be they almost look like they could have had something to do with like the Knights of Ren or whatever too, like
oh yeah, I guess that could be it too,
that kind of thing, like early versions of that. My only concern is because the Knights of Ren were extremely disappointing, Snoke was disappointing, and the Sith Troopers were all disappointing, so it's not going to make a lot of sense if they end up coming out and being like these badass, unstoppable killing machines, and then the perfected version 30 years later is garbage.
Yeah.
It's like that's the only thing that's going to be kind of stupid.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, within the context of the show itself, I like what's going on. Like, I do understand that they probably are going to try to tie it into the sequel series at some point.
Yeah, which I think I did hear something about. They were trying to do that. Like, they're trying to use this show to explain some of the stuff that happens in the new show, or I mean the new episode.
Yeah.
7, 8, 9.
Right, which needs to happen because 7, 8, 9 has no backstory, and that's one of the biggest problems with it.
Yeah, and you don't know what's going on.
But it runs into...
Really badly.
Yeah, it also runs into problems, too, though, because it's like, do they want to go into that, or do they want to distance themselves from that? And also, like I said, we've seen the end results of all of these things, and they're not exactly inspiring.
No.
So, like, it's like my other concern is that this show will do it, and they'll do it right, and it'll be really cool, and then supposedly 30 years of tech and advancements, and it's way worse.
Yes.
It's like that's gonna be like what if they end up making Snoke in this show, and he's like this unstoppable badass like killing machine, like old Republic level Sith Lord or something, and then we get the Snoke in the actual movies, and he doesn't do anything.
Or he has to wear like his padded slippers.
Yeah, it's good.
Because
right,
he can walk around with like normal clothes on.
Hugh Hefner robe.
That would actually be pretty hilarious. But...
Yeah, it's like that, but that's my worry about that. Is that because this show does things and everything's awesome, so it's like, how does that become this dilapidated version?
Yeah.
But yeah, aside from that, I really like the ideas that they're going with this, and then the next episode is almost for sure gonna either Ahsoka's gonna be in the episode or it's gonna be leading to Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Because
I think they probably will have Ahsoka next episode. Almost.
Yeah, because the next episode, I think it's even called like The Jedi or something, and it's directed by Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
So
that's probably gonna be Ahsoka's probably gonna be in there. Yeah, I wonder, so Ahsoka's supposed to be a main character, or is she just gonna be like almost like a cameo?
Well, I don't know what they're doing with it, but she's probably gonna like train the child or something, I would assume, at some point. Because there's no other Jedi out there, really. I mean, Luke, but I don't think they want to get into that yet.
Or Leia, I guess. Leia's...
Yeah, Leia could do something too, but... It makes you wonder, like, where was any of these people during the events of 7, 8, and 9?
Unless they were talking about, like, I think they were saying, at least that one line at the end, I guess that guy was talking about there's something happening in the outer worlds. It's not really the core worlds, unless they just, like, one of those things where the core world just don't care about what's going on.
Right. Well, that's what...
outside of anything else.
Yeah, well, I took that as being that it's the beginnings of the First Order or whatever.
Yeah.
Because the First Order, I think, from my understanding, the First Order started out as these sort of warlord Imperial remnant groups, and then they kind of banded together into one.
Became their own
force
thing.
Yeah, and they started out in like the Outer Rim worlds.
And the core worlds just don't care about what's happening out there.
Right, so the core worlds don't care. They're not concerned. The only one that was concerned about it was Leia, according to the backstory.
Yeah.
Or at least according to the Colin Trevorrow version of Episode 9 that actually makes sense. Leia's whole backstory was that she was the only one that was concerned, but then everybody else and all the other political rivals and stuff ended up digging up all the dirt about her, and they dropped the big bombshell that she is Darth Vader's daughter, and that caused a whole bunch of people like in the Senate to turn against her. So
okay, that actually kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
was that the Colin Trevorrow version?
Yeah, that's in the Colin Trevorrow one. And
the one that makes sense.
Yeah, the one that makes sense. Yeah, and that's kind of what her thing was. And then she was viewed as kind of a radical character, and people were kind of fearful of her because she was trying to put together the New Republic army, banded together, and they go hunt down these new upstarts. And people were kind of likening her to like Emperor Palpatine, kind of like take over and create her own army and stuff. So that's why she lost a lot of political power, so she ended up dropping out of the Senate completely and just becoming like the general in charge of the resistance, because literally nobody else would believe that the First Order is a threat.
Yeah, especially if they do think Coral just cares about themselves or like their own areas. So they're like, okay, whatever. You guys can do whatever you want out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
And that same guy, the one like X-wing pilot is just out there. I guess he's like the cop or something.
Yeah, he's like the only guy that's on duty out in the outer rim, I guess.
He's like, something's going on out here, but no one just cares.
But no one cares. Yeah, he tries to recruit Cara Dune, Gina Carano's character.
Yeah.
But he tries to recruit her with like the worst possible line. He's like, "Oh, it says here you're from Alderaan. I heard your planet blew up. Did you lose anyone?"
I was like, "Did you lose anyone?"
I was like, "Your planet exploded. What do you think?"
It's like, you've been out in the core world a little too long, or the outer world a little too long.
It's like, that's maybe not the best way to recruit someone.
Yeah. Did you lose anyone in the planet that was blown up?
Yes.
Great.
So and then we got some more cool side stuff. So she picked up a mongoose.
Yeah, she has her own Baby Yoda.
She has mongoose. A pet mongoose now, and Baby Yoda beat up a kid and stole his lunch.
Are these all your lunches? You mean you eat other people's lunches? Stop it! Oh.
Yeah, and then he threw it up.
Yeah.
It's like, ew.
So yeah, Baby Yoda continues on his quest to eat a third of the known galaxy.
Yes, eat a third of the known galaxy, and then just like, I'm surprised he didn't choke the kid. Just choke on
well, we don't know what happened off screen.
Oh yeah, that is true. The kid probably tried to get him back, and then he choked him.
He choked him, yeah. He's like, probably, his body's probably in the locker or something. Back at the school.
So Baby Yoda's like a bully. He's the bully of the school.
Well, they were bullying him when he first sat down, so.
I guess that is the way to do it. You bully the biggest kid in class.
That's how Baby Yoda asserted his dominance. He stole his cookies and then he choked him.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, so that was cool, and then we got some more of Ponda Baba's butt face race.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious how they, even though it did show how Mandalorian actually.
Yeah, that was cool. That he just kind of lifts his helmet up just enough to get the soup to his mouth.
Yeah, or like the food there.
Yeah,
like,
so nobody can actually see him beyond his chin or whatever. Nobody be able to identify him. But yeah, so that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I guess kind of answering some questions and everything else that people brought up. So
yeah, I feel like this episode answered more questions than any of the previous episodes so far. So
yeah.
like I said before, I can't really see how you can call this filler, other than you're complaining because we didn't get to Ahsoka right away.
Yeah, exactly. And episode 2 was like that second episode was definitely that was like probably the most filler of all the episodes.
Yeah, I mean even that episode still was getting the characters from point A to point B, but it still had the most filler.
Yeah.
But I mean,
This
honestly,
one actually had some substance to it.
yeah. I mean, that episode wasn't that bad either. But
No, I don't think there has been a really bad episode yet.
no, there hasn't been a bad episode in either season, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what happens next week. So we should be seeing Ahsoka, or at least getting to Ahsoka.
Yeah, getting to that point. So
we'll see you then.
see you next week.
Bye.